And you have all of this shimmering gold and glittering jewels that fills every corner of the street. That's kind of Zaveri Bazaar, which I call a market of paradise. It's literally so magical. Plus, those rich flavors that are available, they are not just in terms of food that we have. They are also in terms of people, in terms of the vendors, in terms of the behavior, the vibes, the energy.
Traveling the world to bring you delicious dishes, tasty beverages, and interesting experiences. This is the Destination Eat Drink Podcast on the Radio Misfits Podcast Network.
Welcome to Destination Eat Drink, the travel podcast for foodies, because the best part of any trip is what you eat. I'm Brent Peterson, and this week we're sampling some of the best street food the world has to offer. We're going to visit the Alley of Treats in Mumbai, try a new spin on Hokkien Mee and sour noodles from Penang, plus a lion's mane mushroom satay, and an East Berlin snack you've probably never heard of. Then I'll stretch the definition of street food with the most unusual truck stop ever and gas station burritos. And I'm starving, so let's eat.
Destination Eat Drink.
Pooja is a foodie tour guide from Mumbai, India. She tells me about Mumbai's street food markets and a chickpea pancake with all kinds of fillings.
So when it comes to Mumbai and street food, when you want me to explain that as a combination, it's like a made for each other combo. As an example, I'll give you, we have a street food here known as vada pav. It's what I always call as shirt and button combo. It's my way of actually portraying it. So similarly, it's for Mumbai with the street food. And when it comes to Zaveri Bazaar, you're asking me about the specifications. Zaveri Bazaar is kind of a mesmerizing world of its own. Just imagine walking through some narrow, bustling lanes wherein each step echoes with a chatter of excited vendors and customers. That air thick, like with the scent of essence, and you have all of this shimmering gold and glittering jewels that fills every corner of the street. That's kind of Zaveri Bazaar, which I call a market of paradise.
Oh, wow.
It's literally so magical. Plus those rich flavors that are available, they are not just in terms of food that we have. They are also in terms of people, in terms of the vendors, in terms of the behavior, the vibes, the energy. So yeah, that's Zaveri Bazaar.
I love your description of that, Pooja, of all of the colors and the sights. I also have to imagine if there's street food involved, there must be scents and aromas from all the spices. What kind of scents and smells would we encounter when we go to the street food, when we try the street food at the Zaveri Bazaar?
Okay, so this one's my favorite, basically.
Okay.
We have a cow gully in Zaveri Bazaar. Cow gully literally translates to alley of treats.
Oh, wow.
So when I say it's alley of treats, it's not just going to be treats to you when you're eating it. It's going to be treats to all the five senses that you have. I'll explain you how. So it's going to be treat to your eyes because you see all those different colors out there, the way they are making it and all of that stuff, different kind of dishes available in just one particular lane. So that's going to be a delight to your eyes. To your nose, because of the different smell available all over. Different sense of food is like literally specific talking is about the food here, specific mentions to the food. Then it is really a pleasure to your ears to hear that particular sound, different sounds. Somebody's frying something, so that frying sound, somebody's cooking that pav bhaji on that pan. So that crackling sound of different things being made over there. The sound that you get when you're actually adding butter, oil, or clarified butter, anything on a particular empty pan,
Yes.
and you're tempering it with different spices.
The sparkling and the popping and all this.
Exactly. That sound over there is on a regular basis. That crackling sound of papad over there. We get a particular thing known as masala papad there. So they have this thing of making it on coal. And after it's made, they break it into pieces. So the sound of them breaking into pieces and all of that stuff. So it's gonna be these three senses. Then you come to your tastings. It's gonna be
The best part.
exactly, yes. And then later on, yeah, definitely you're touching it.
If you're enjoying Destination Eat Drink, take a moment to rate and review the show on your podcast app. It just takes a moment and it helps other foodie travelers like you find the show. And if you want to do more to support Destination Eat Drink, you can make a one-time or recurring contribution to Destination Eat Drink at buymeacoffee.com/Destination Eat Drink. Now, more of Mumbai street food with Pooja. You've painted an amazing picture here, and I'm curious, if we were to go to the Zavari Bazaar, what would be the first dish that you would look for? What would be the first, you said the alley of treats. What would be the first treat that you would look for that you said, oh, this is my favorite, or this is one that I always have to get?
It's difficult to choose a favorite though, because there's so much around and all of it is so tasty. But there's, if one recommendation, if I have to give in the Zaveri Bazaar, it's gonna be the pudlas for sure.
And what are those?
So basically, pudlas are gram pancakes.
Oh, these are the ones that are made with the chickpea flour.
Exactly, yes. Chickpea flour, or you can name it as gram flour. It's a particular sector of a chickpea flour. So it's made out of Bengal gram lentil.
Oh, okay.
You have to create a batter out of it. That batter you have to add on a really hot pan. Add some veggies on top. Cook it on both the sides with butter or oil as you like. You can have it with the cheese, without the cheese, and coriander is a must on top. If you don't sprinkle coriander, it's something incomplete.
So these are, you said vegetables and cheese and coriander. So these are savory chickpea flour pancakes. Do they ever come with sweet fillings?
No, they never come with sweet fillings. They are such vibrant, great color combination ones that it's like yellow, red, green, and you have white for the cheese on top. So,
Oh man!
But they are always savory pancakes. We don't have sweet pancakes as an origin of Mumbai food.
Okay. Oh, they sound delicious. I'd like to try a bunch of them, I think. Pauline Lee is the founder of Simply Anak, a food tour company in Malaysia. She tells me about street food in Penang, including the city spin on Hokkien Mee. You do a couple of food tours in Penang. One is in Georgetown, and I heard Georgetown called the food capital of Malaysia. That's pretty that's pretty big words for a country that has such a great culinary history and culture. You do the food tour in Georgetown. What makes the food scene there so special?
I myself, personally, I'm from the capital, Kuala Lumpur. But I fell in love with Georgetown. And there's so much Georgetown can offer. It's, how to say, the charms of this Pearl of the Orient. There's so much to list down and share. So we have 2 food walks, one in the morning and one in the evening. And different times of the day, you could see or be exposed or experience different things, and also eating different things. Penang is the food capital, and even from Kuala Lumpur, we have this word kowtow, meaning I salute Penangites and Penang, because they came out with the origin char kway teow, for example. We call it CKT. It's stir fry noodles. It's probably like another version of pad thai, but better, of course. And they have the best nasi kanda. Yeah, it's nasi is rice, kanda. Yeah, it's the pole to carry the rice and the curry in those days. Yeah. So they have a lot of food. They're basically like the institution, like, the where most dishes come from. So yes, a lot of respect for Penang.
So what is the char kway teow dish?
Yeah, so char kway teow dish is like stir fry rice noodles. It has the condiments are like of course pork lard. You've got bean sprouts, shies, Chinese sausages, and cockles. We call it si hum, in Cantonese. So it's stir fried, it's dried, and you could either have it extra spicy or normal or no spiced. That's how you order CKT.
CKT. Okay, so we don't need to learn how to pronounce it. We can just go by the initial CKT. That makes it a lot easier.
And then we progress to the Chinese street food, which is the wonton mee, which is the noodles, dry noodles. And then, of course, we got the Penang Hokkien Mee as well. Not to be confused with the KL Hokkien Mee.
Yeah, I was going to say, because there's different kinds of Hokkien Mee. One in Kuala Lumpur. There's other ones. I think there's one in Singapore, maybe too. What makes the Penang Hokkien Mee different?
Like I said, Penang can claim and proudly claim many, many famed signature dishes. And one of it is Hokkien Mee. Hokkien Mee is so similar to laksa. Is basically noodles in broth. And this one is prawn broth. Prawn and pork. Yeah. So you've got the prawn heads as well, as a stock, with the best of the pork bones. Yeah. Penang, it's a signature dish from Penang. You can have it with rice noodles or rice vermicelli or mee, yellow noodles. I typically like a mixture of noodles with rice vermicelli and rice noodles. And then you have eggs, you've got the shallots, and then, of course, you've got the shrimps as well, shredded chicken, and it's a wholesome broth of noodles. Yeah. So, Penang is also famous for another broth noodles, which is the Penang Asam Laksa. That's the sour noodles. So that's also another big thing, the Penang Asam Laksa. Yeah. And this noodles, so very different from the prawn stock pork Hokkien Mee. This is a bit more of everything is in this bowl of noodles called a Penang Asam Laksa. So asam is sour. So you've got the sour, from tamarind. You've got the spiciness, the spices from the chili. You've got, of course, the base is fish. Yeah. So some people use mackerel, some people use sardines. So it's quite a fishy broth, but that's when the pineapple comes in to balance up with the shallots. And also you have the mint as well to calm down the fishiness of the broth. So what's the taste of Penang Asam Laksa? It's a hybrid of sweet, savory, sour. Every senses is tested in the Penang Asam Laksa.
There's lots more food and travel at destinationeatdrink.com. I just posted a brand new story about another street food. This one is from Bologna, Italy. It's called Crescentina, and you can read all about it and see pictures at destinationeatdrink.com/blog. And speaking of Bologna, I have a brand new food and travel guide to Bologna available at buymeacoffee.com/destinationeatdrink. Bologna is one of the greatest food cities in all of Italy, if not the world, and there's the famous ragu alla bolognese, tortellini and brodo, and a criminally underrated wine, and so much more. Download your copy at buymeacoffee.com/destinationeatdrink. I also posted a brand new video. This one is about the hidden gem neighborhood of Marvilla in Lisbon, where you can find artist enclaves and the best craft beer in the city. Watch me try a bunch of that craft beer by clicking on the video tab at destinationeatdrink.com or go to my YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/@destinationeatdrink946. Now, here's more street food with Pauline Lee. As I'm listening to you talk, Pauline, I'm thinking about these street foods and they sound divine, but I'm wondering, you've got the Hokkien Mee that has the shrimp in it, the prawns. You've got the laksa, which probably has a fish broth to it. Is there anything from the street food that vegetarians or vegans could enjoy?
That's an interesting one. Yeah, recently I've created one of my latest products is the vegetarian food walk.
Oh, wow. Dedicated just to vegetarian. Interesting.
Yeah. I have to admit the vegan is a bit of a test, but vegan and street food, it's not impossible, but to hit as many spots as the vegetarian one, it's slightly challenging, but not impossible. So we've done, back to the vegetarian, there is a place in Penang that served a vegetarian Penang asam laksa. And I was blown up and amazed by that. I have to admit, I'm a vegetarian myself twice a week, because of going to the markets and being exposed to so much stock. I need to have this twice a meal vegetarian to stay a little bit sane and balanced, carbon footprint and everything. But yes, the vegetarian world is very interesting. You get satays made from lion mane mushrooms. Yeah, it's such and it's almost like eating the real thing. Okay, there's still a difference naturally, but to me, when I tasted the satay and the sauce and the Penang apsa laksa vegetarian style, in this place, I do not miss the real meat.
Margot and Alex are the founders of Walk With Us Food Tours. They tell me about Berlin's street food and their off-the-beaten-path picks. When I think of street food in Berlin, immediately what comes to my mind is currywurst and doner kebab. And
yes.
Right.
I don't know if you guys offer that on your street food tour, but I imagine it's much more than that.
We
Yes.
actually, I think we actually pride ourselves to be the first food tour business in Berlin that doesn't serve currywurst.
Okay.
And don't get me wrong, nothing against currywurst, and nothing against food tours that offer that. But if you live here, if you come from here, if you know Berlin, then I also think there's a lot more to it. And like you said, when people think about street food in Berlin, it's like currywurst, döner, and incredible currywurst, incredible döner here for sure. But there's also a lot more to it. And we try to, with our street food tour, we try to take people on a little ride through Prenzlauer Berg, a little different part of the neighborhood compared to our gourmet tour, and try to show them, like, when we go out, eat and drink, where do we go to, right? And I can tell you, if you live in Berlin, you not go to a currywurst place every other day, or you don't eat döner every day. I still, get döner here and there, and I love it if it's a good one. But there's so much more to it, and the multiculturalism of the city is nowadays took a whole nother level. I mean, Berlin counts as one of the most multicultural places in Europe, if not in the world, by just the sheer number of nationalities living within the city. And so that, I thought, was a little underrepresented. We still have a nice East Berliner snack on the tour that actually didn't make it much out of East Berlin. Yeah. So if you talk about street food from back then during East Berliner times, this is also what we have reflected on our food tour. But we also go to a Chinese place and so on. Yeah. So really reflecting the diversity of the city, and maybe going a bit beyond, let's say, the cliches and stereotypes. I don't think you necessarily have to come on a food tour to eat currywurst. That is just my opinion, but yeah, that's what we
Sure, it's
try
everywhere.
to create a little. Yeah, and we try to create a little different model, and also to position ourselves, to differentiate ourselves, just from a business perspective. I don't think that Berlin needs another food tour business that offers currywurst and kebabs. Yeah, I think at one point it's saturated, and if you don't find your niche, then yeah, it's just difficult to stand out and to compete. And besides that, we think that there's so much more layers to it, and so much more, behind the curtain, behind the iron curtain, you could say.
What's the name of that East German snack that you said didn't make it out of East Berlin?
It's called Katwurst.
Katwurst. Okay.
Katwurst, not like the animal cat. K-E-T.
Katwurst.
Sometimes written with double T. I think officially it was supposed to be just with one T, K-E-T, and then Wurst, like sausage. Yeah. Maybe look it up. It's kind of the counter model to the West Berliner hot dog.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And did you grow up eating this?
I did. Yeah. I remember as a child, I was like big into football, soccer, the real football. No offense.
Not the American. Hey, there's American football's coming to Germany this year.
Right. No, for sure. They're here. And people, like, I have friends, they're watching it actually. They're into it. They like stay up all night to watch Super Bowl these days.
Right.
Yeah, but I remember, like, the very first Catwurst I had was at the Berliner Olympic Stadium. It was like a football game. I went back there with my dad and with my uncle, and I was like probably 8-9 years old or so, and then I really liked it, and so there's this place in Prenzlauer Berg that has a long history of serving that. Already during the 80s, people would go there. And it's just a place where people still speak like Berliner Schnauze, Berliner slang, Berliner Snout, you would say. And yeah, it's just really authentic and just a great little snack that we have on the street food tour.
In the same way that the gourmet tour is kind of a tribute to German food, the regional foods of Brandenburg and Berlin and East Germany, I think that our street food tour is a dedication to the international community here in Berlin, because like Alex said, we have so much more to offer than currywurst or schnitzel or, liters of beer. Not all of Germany is the same, and Berlin is definitely not like the rest of Germany. And like Alex was saying, we actually have over 190 different nationalities living in Berlin, which is one of the largest international communities in the world. So it would be amiss to not include that, because for me personally, these are the foods that I like to eat. I like to finally get a nice taco. Growing up in Los Angeles, we have the best Mexican food.
Yes.
And here it was really hard to find. But then all of a sudden, as the international community grew, so did the food places and the food offerings. And it's just so diverse. And there's so many good places. And they're opening up new ones all of the time. And there's so much competition in Berlin nowadays for food and gastronomy and, just the whole gastronomy business, that if you're not doing it well or doing, something really outstanding, it's going to be tough to compete. So we as the consumers are really lucky because we get to eat some amazing food.
Rupak Jin is an actor who hosts the PBS show Spice Road. He tells me about an amazing truck stop in Bakersfield, California. I wanted to talk about this place called Punjabi Shaba, which is a truck stop in Bakersfield. And I just love this because, truck stops are not exactly known for their high cuisine. And you went out here and I was like, what in the world is he going to find in Bakersfield? And, and it's like, I shouldn't do that. I shouldn't stereotype, because when you get to this place and I see the food coming out and I see how much care and love they put into it, I was like, man, now I want to I'm going to road trip to Bakersfield from Portugal.
You got to.
Because it just looked amazing. Tell the folks about this place a little bit if you could.
Oh, and so Punjabi dhaba is, first I should explain what a dhaba is. Dhaba literally means like hole in the wall restaurant.
Oh,
right.
Cool.
It's not even, I wouldn't even say diner, because diner doesn't get it, because diner almost seems too fancy. Like a dhaba is literally like a truck stop, and they are all across India and now the United States. In fact, this dhaba was serving a truck route. And there's, I think it's, forgetting which route, maybe 66, but there's a route that all the truckers go along across the US, and it cuts right across, and, dotted along that route are dhabas. And because a lot of, as I mentioned in the episode, many truckers are Punjabi. And so specifically this, and Punjab being a region in India, and this dhaba is called Punjabi dhaba, offering Punjabi delicacies. And so the food is really hearty. It's the kind of stuff that, you'll be able to drive 10 hours afterwards. It'll fuel you, but it's just so delicious. Things like paratha. This is an Indian flatbread. Of course, the favorites, like they have, I think they have their chicken tikka. I think he was telling me their chicken sells out very quickly. Tandoori, they have a tandoor. So that's like a clay oven. Where I know many of your listeners probably have had tandoori chicken, and these kind of tandoori, naan is also a bread that's made in a tandoor. But this place in particular does it in a way that is unique, and the flavors are just right. Dal makhni. So for your vegetarians out there, dal is a legume, lentils, but there's many kinds of dals. And so dal makhni is a specific preparation of dal. We get into that in the episode. They do a great one. It's a kind of heavy, rich, creamy dal. So lots of good stuff. And yes, it's in Bakersfield. And that was kind of, again, getting back to what we wanted to talk about in the show, is in places you wouldn't expect. Because here's the thing. In today's world, there's just a lot of schisms. People are finding a lot of reasons to dislike each other that are flimsy, frankly. Mm-hmm. And so we were trying to say, no, look, America is, it's great. It is the promise of America is that you can come from anywhere. And we all, mostly did come from somewhere. We go back far enough, and you can come here and you can be who you are and share of who you are. Most importantly, that was the journey for me. And seeing these people do that in a place, again, you wouldn't expect. That's what it's all about.
You're so right, because food can bridge a lot of gaps. And I'm just wondering, you mentioned, in the episode, there's 150,000 Punjabi truckers in the U.S., but this truck stop in Bakersfield, Punjabi dhaba, I'm wondering, they must serve a wide variety of clientele, not just Punjabi. I wonder what the reaction is from truckers just getting off the road and they're not expecting this, and then they get this amazing Indian food, Punjabi food. Did you see anyone like that that might have been surprised, or that surprised you that they were frequenting this place?
It's a good question. When I was there, it was mostly Indians. I didn't see non-Indians. That being said, I'm sure they must be getting, a wider clientele. The longer they're there, the more exposure they get. Like before we got there, the New York Times got there. That's kind of what, tipped us off to the place. And that's the cool thing is, even in Martinsville, where my wife's from in Southern Virginia, it's the town next to Roanoke, there was just a place that just opened up. It's in a gas station. It's an Indian restaurant, but my African-American in-laws are all going there, all the cousins and aunts, and they're getting the food and they're loving it. And so this is how it happens. This is the kind of culinary diplomacy that's happening between these cultures. And yeah, I love it. I'm here for it.
It's amazing, because don't sleep on this stuff. You have the stereotype of what a truck stop is. Don't sleep on it. I was talking with, I had Sarah Jarosz on the podcast, a couple of years ago. She's a Grammy Award winning singer-songwriter. And she's from this little town south of Austin. And I asked her, because in Austin, breakfast burritos are a thing. And I said, where's your favorite breakfast burrito? And she talked about a gas station where she got her favorite breakfast burrito. She's like, this is the place to go. You don't go to the fancy places. You don't go to the sit down places. You go to this gas station, and that's where you get the best breakfast burrito in Wimberley, Texas. So
love it.
Don't sleep on it, man.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. Truck stop Punjabi food. I got to go check that out in Bakersfield. You can follow Rupak on Instagram at Rupak Jin. Pooja's tours are at achefstour.com. Pauline's website is simplyanak.com. And Margot and Alex are at walkwithustours.com. I've got links to all my guests in the show notes. Well, that's it for this week. Next week, we're in Parma, Italy for Parmigiano Reggiano cheese, cured meats, and some underrated wine. Subscribe to Destination Eat Drink so you don't miss that. Destination Eat Drink is distributed by the Radio Misfits Podcast Network and Ed Silla. Thanks, Ed. I'm Brent Peterson, and I'll see you down the road.
Join us next week for another culinary adventure on Destination Eat Drink, a presentation of the Radio Misfits Podcast Network.